And one of the things that we believe in as Commissioner Ralph indicated, there are a lot of great things happening in South Metro. And I think we have to recognize South Metro now, because we must make sure that we tell our story. As I shared with my friend, of course, at the Atlanta Business Chronicle and other places, there are a lot of great things happening, even throughout these tough economic times.
To the adjoining counties, our neighbors and cities, to the business leaders and citizens who wish to invest in Clayton County and throughout the South Metro region, we're excited to have you here. Welcome. Today we meet on the region's front porch. If you're coming by plane, this is the front porch. If you were coming by car or automobile, this is the region's front porch. If in the future, when you come by commuter rail, this will be the front porch of our great region. And so, at the front porch, this is a good place to talk to neighbors and friends. So I come today to greet you with rich promise. We are hosting this conference in a great county, and despite the national economic downturn, this county has generated over $180 billion in sales in 2009. This is a county that's home to 8,000 businesses that employ nearly 100,000 people. A county where new businesses are located.
Yes, it's obvious that also transportation is a growing problem for the next decade in the Metro Atlanta region. Given the ongoing transportation challenges, the governor is proposing a 1-cent sales tax referendum on the 2012 ballot statewide. Votes will be counted in 12 transportation districts made up of individual counties. Funds will be used to pay for roads, transit, and bridges in designated communities. It is a fact that we cannot fix transportation all at one time, but we must continue to look at a long-term vision and always look to ways to pay for that vision.
I just want to, always thank Michael Hightower for everything he does to draw attention to South Metro, and I want to thank the Atlanta Business Chronicle for having the foresight to recognize the importance and vitality of this region. South Metro's future is bright. We will get through this tough economy, and the Atlanta Business Chronicle does an outstanding job in terms of spreading the message of good news that's coming in South Fulton and South Metro. Thank you very much.
And thanks to the support of colleagues on the commission, it seemed to be either Mayor Dixon or somebody been praying real hard, because we started dealing with our economic challenges before we got to the economic crisis. We started looking at reorganizing our county. We, like most other governments, when you got into it, you build silos. And so we sought the opportunity to take it in another direction. And we're slowly doing that, and that has helped us significantly.
Oftentimes when we read articles in the AJC or the Atlanta Business Chronicle, or we hear comments made on the Georgia game, we're not exactly sure where the line between truth and reality lies. But as a member of the board of the Department of Transportation, the board that's responsible for governing and monitoring and setting policy for the entire Department of Transportation, I stand before you this morning as part of this conference to make it clear to everybody. We have no money in the state of Georgia for transportation. So when you read the articles that talk about funds running low and funds running out, it is in fact a reality. We were in fact, Bill, very excited when the governor announced the $300 million in bond funds for transportation. The entire board was excited, the department is excited, because what we're going to see over the next few years is an influx of funds available to match the federal dollars that we're receiving for transportation.
We're trying to improve the lives of people, the forgotten, the underserved. And so one of the things that we're doing here is trying to deal with these issues in a very collaborative way, not just county government doing it by itself, but reaching out to the private community, reaching out to the public community, including the school system, deal with these issues to make sure that we can minimize the social challenges that we were being besieged with in our county.
Today, The economy over the past 2 years has been under severe stress. That's not a secret to anybody. We all know that here in the room. And quite frankly, banks are a direct reflection, a direct mirror on the economies and the communities they serve. So as the health of the local community goes, as the health of the general economy goes, that's going to show up in the performance and health of the banking and financial services industry. But a lot of people aren't hearing these days is that a large majority of Georgia's banks remain well capitalized, about 86%. Now that number is traditionally much higher, but in this current environment, that is still a very high number of banks that are well capitalized by regulatory standards. Now here's a number that doesn't look so good for us, and we're all aware of the economic pressures that our banks have been under. Only about 40% of the banks were profitable through the third quarter of 2009. Why that data may appear a little dated is that that's the most recent FDIC reported data. They're currently consolidating and gathering all the fourth quarter and year-end data, and that information won't be available to the general public until early to mid next month, I believe. So look for an update on that, and we'll see how that works. We expect that number will remain around the same.
I would just love to say that it's an honor and privilege to present these great dynamic speakers today, and it was an honor to even be asked to participate in such a wonderful event. Because until we come together and put our minds together, become nonpartisan, if you know more and I know, let's put it together and let's make it work. Because it's about our constituents and making things better and a better quality of life for our families and our friends, and try to make a little change to put in our pocket at the same time. So that's why I think this meeting is so fabulous today. I bring you greetings from the great city of Riverdale, where we are making greatness on a daily basis, and that's for real.
But One Henry, again, in that umbrella organization, this is the 5th year really of this collaborative effort that we had. We actually were working on a comprehensive land use plan that did not involve the cities in working with the county. You might ask yourself, how can that be a comprehensive land use plan for the county if you don't have the cities at the table and involved in that process? Our then Chairman Jason Harper, Chairman of the Board of Commissioners at that time, saw the wisdom in that, and he created really the One Henry initiative to go after that, to seize what we were working on at that point with our plan and the time that had been put into that, to develop truly a comprehensive plan that involved the collaboration between Henry County and the cities.
It's too early to tell what the impact of the stimulus funds are in the state of Georgia, but I can conclude quite confidently in 2 things. One, this is a significant one-time infusion of cash that is going to go away very soon. The other thing is we've got an unprecedented level of federal oversight and scrutiny that I don't think is ever going to leave us. Monies come to Georgia in several different ways. They can come to state government, which is my scope, and we expect about $6.2 billion to come to the state government in Georgia. Then the balance, $3.5 billion, go to local governments directly, individuals and families, and to businesses.
So for the most part, Douglas County has a vision. We know where we're going, and we're coming into the folds of so the whole ARC, the whole Metro Atlanta, because we're part of it. We're part of that 9 core counties. For some of you who don't know where Douglas County is, we're right by Six Flags. If you're going 20 west, you're going to run right into us and run through the heart of that. And so again, we're here to extend our outlook on sort of where Douglas County is going to be and how we fit into your picture.
But I must pause and acknowledge the collaborative firm staff. Some are working outside, some are here. Would you please stand, the collaborative firm? They're throughout Jessica and Michelle, Brian, and there are about 12 of us here now. We've grown to a staff of 12, and it's because of many of you that have allowed us to serve you in the areas of land use and planning, and of course, Mayor from Riverdale, the LCIs that we've done throughout South Metro, and of course here in Clayton County, where they've allowed us to serve them in a variety of ways. We say thank you as a firm. And I want to thank all the employees and also the volunteers who have worked. Please stand, all the volunteers who have helped out so much.